Fantastic.
Yes, it's a good day, right?
It is. It is. It is.
Hey, everyone.
Oh my goodness.
Looking like twins.
Queens.
Oh.
Yes.
When that lighting hits
Queen,
right.
queen, pretty and pretty.
Thank you guys so much for being early. We do have $100 gift cards for everyone that was early. I'm just kidding. I wish. But why we are waiting for more folks, if you guys want to exercise the chat and go ahead and put your name, your title, and any contact information if you want people to know who you are. If you don't want people to know who you are, you're probably in the wrong room.
I love it.
Absolutely. Let's see who we got on here.
You can add your title and everything on here?
Yeah, so whatever you want people to know about you, feel free. That way people can start seeing who's in this organization and on this call, and people can connect with you. Everyone looks so good.
You over there superstar ready. I should have got my hair and makeup done for this.
Yeah.
Hey, are you still with Hardin?
No.
What?
Long gone.
Yeah, long gone.
I had such a good time with you when we were filming that day. What a blast.
Yes, I am director of Black Voices in Coaching at the Chamber of Cannabis.
Representing.
Yes. And
Awesome.
I run my own marketing and branding company, so we can.
As you should. I can vouch to your talent. It was a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate
now
that.
we got him on our team. Woo!
Oh yeah, he's a good one. I spent a whole entire day from morning to night. I had a lot of change of clothing and scenery, and he made my day.
A whole
Truly
day
did.
with Damien. Wow.
A whole day.
We got
to know each other. We got to know each other. Anybody want a good? He's definitely a good guy to know.
He is. We're happy to have him on our team. For everybody that just hopped on, feel free to put your information in the chat, whatever you'd like to share with other people, your name, your title, what company you work for, your contact information, so we can start to connect. And if you see somebody that you want to partner with, you have it there. Also, I'd encourage you to put your Instagram if you'd like. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes for those professional stoners who are running a little late, because they probably had to make a quick stop at the dispensary before they came on.
What do you mean?
If everyone also can put their computer on mute, that would be wonderful. Look at a full house. God, we're a good looking crew, aren't we? Shush. Lots of folks don't want to show their face, but that's okay. If for any reason you get kicked off, we're also airing this on IG, or if you want to encourage any of your homies, they can also, who didn't register for the Zoom, they can go on IG and view it as well. No, we're having some technical difficulties? Oh, well, never mind. We're not going to Instagram live it. But you guys are all on, so it doesn't matter. Oops.
David, what you eating?
I was hoping nobody saw
it. Yeah. In the best interest of the meeting, I have decided not to touch anything technical today. I think that people should do what people are great at. So Danny B, Madam VP, is going to be touching all electronics today. Okay, just a little disclaimer. So thank you all for joining us. For those who it is your first time, we welcome you. For our returning members, we really welcome you. Thanks for riding with us. Our group was formed just a couple months ago in October of 2021. And we really wanted to connect like-minded people who believe in the power of cannabis, who want to connect with each other, meet each other, and really elevate each other in this space. It was designed specifically for those who work in Nevada, but now we've expanded our borders, and really we want to build those relationships with people all over the United States, the world, and pretty much the universe. So if you are watching this and you're not a member yet, and you believe in these things, we encourage you to stay on. If you find something that maybe this organization is just not for you, that's okay. It might just not be for you. So everyone who's involved in this is actively working to improve justice and promote a more fair and equitable licensing process so that we can have a continued better commerce, and wants to give back to their community. So that's really who makes up this group. Today, we are going to be talking a little bit about what we've done in the last 30 days, what we've done, what we have coming up. And most of our meeting is going to be focused on recognizing Black excellence in cannabis and leadership, starting right with our members, and then our colleagues in the industry, and then finally with the man who is really showing us that you can have your own company, you can be an activist, and you can also pave the way for hundreds of other people, Mr. Al Harrington. Now, if you're wondering who's behind this group, well, here we are. We really wanted to make sure that every single voice was heard and everybody had a seat at the table. Our industry is as diverse as the people on this call. So when we formed our board, we wanted to make sure that we elevated those who weren't necessarily being elevated already or being marginalized. So we have a voice for every demographic, a director of Black voices, Latino voices, veterans voices, medical voices, LGBTQ voices, and as you can see from the picture, women's voices. So how are we gonna do that? Well, here's how we're gonna break it down. First, how are we going to support and improve justice? When we started in October, we actually supported 8 candidates, judicial candidates that believe in a fair, interpreting the law fair for cannabis consumers. I'm very proud to report that 7 of those candidates were women and 6 of them were women of color. Most of them are now all on the bench, and we're very proud that we were able to help with that. How we're going to support commerce is by leading a fair and equitable social use campaign in 2021, which we're going to dive into a little bit deeper into the meeting. And then also our community. We have a direct impact on the Las Vegas community, especially now that we don't have anything to do with pools to go to or clubs to go to. So we've seen a lot more people getting involved and trying to shape their community and make it better. And quite frankly, that's really what fills our cup in this all-volunteer organization. Now I'm going to hand it over to Danny B, and she's going to tell you a little bit about how we do this.
Hello, Canna friends. I'm Danny B, Vice President of the Chamber. Our goal is to really be the dopest chamber in America, and luckily we live in one of the best states full of innovators and leaders. Now, if you want to be a part of the cannabis coalition that we are building and are thinking, okay, I can get into this, let me share our ethos that we follow at the Chamber with you, and we can make sure you're lined up. So number 1, elevating each other, whether it be energy, knowledge, or opportunity, whatever we can do as an organization to elevate each other is exactly how we can create a better cannabis industry. And as our homie Zig Ziglar said, you can get anything you want if you help others get what they want. Number 2, humility is greater than pride. One thing this industry doesn't need is one more large ego. So we're gonna we always try and keep ours in check. And when we mess up, we admit it, we own it, and we move on. Number 3, let's roll together. So this plant brings together all types of people, experiences, and opportunities. Oh, the stories I could tell you of people I've met in a cannabis smoking circle or in this world. We want to keep bringing people together, and we encourage you to drop your name and email in the chat and plant a seed that, who knows, could grow into the next best opportunity for you. So last but not least, number 4, enjoy the ride. Something that gets me really hyped in the morning when I wake up is I remember that we and all of you on this call are writing history as building the foundational pieces for this cannabis industry. So let's enjoy it, and then let's improve it for the future ganjapreneur. So if all of those things sound like you, then you're in the right room. Perfect. All right. So speaking of people that are incredible and people we met in this industry, I want to introduce you to some of our chamber members that live by our mission and ethos in a little segment we like to call roll call. So each of you that I will introduce will have 1 minute to share with this group a little something about who you are and what cannabis means to you or what you do for our industry. So I am super grateful and excited to introduce you to first some of the experts that guide our chamber, starting with Brian Applegarth, who is our advisor of tourism. Brian, are you there?
I am.
Great.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you so much. Before you get started, I am going to have the clock ticking. So we've got 1 minute and go.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Danny and Tina. Congrats on starting a very important organization. My name is Brian Applegarth. I work at the intersection of tourism and travel and cannabis and hemp. I think cannabis and hemp can change the world. The more that it's in people's hands, whether it's an ancillary good, a CBD topical, or a high grade concentrate, I think that the more we get it out, that's kind of what I serve. That's my compass. That's my role. I did some really interesting research at the national level about the cannabis motivated travel audience. That data went live July. So I work with destinations. I'm in a destination now who's a client. And what I do is I help develop strategy that includes hemp, cannabis, CBD, and it really mitigates risk and drives revenue. I also work for hotels and resorts. So basically I live at the intersection of travel and cannabis related travel. And I'm super honored to be part of it. I'm psyched to be kind of the tourism guy and to help steer this and bring the data. And I'm fired up for a good year ahead. Thanks so much.
Woo! Thank you, Brian. So grateful to meet you. And I just want to share with all of you that Brian and I actually met on Clubhouse. So if you're not on Clubhouse yet, think about all the different ways you can connect with people all over. All right, next, I'm going to have our legal advisors. So this is going to be Seamus and Daniel. Are you there?
Hey, you got Seamus here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you great. Clock is.
Hey, okay, so I'll keep this quick. I'm Seamus Flynn, and together with my partner, Daniel Judici, we formed our law firm last month. It's called Flynn Judici. So we're a business law firm that focuses on cannabis law, administrative law, environmental, energy matters. We sort of cover the whole gambit. With respect to cannabis, because we're talking to a cannabis group here, I'm going to pass around a little one-page summary that we can help you out with. But basically, sort of overview is what do we provide? We can do compliance advice. We can do licensing matters. We can do regulatory concerns. If you have any sort of dispute resolution, if you got M&A stuff going on, seriously, reach out to us, contact us. If you need a lawyer, let's chat. We'd love to hear from you. Free consults, nothing up front. And we are super stoked to be a part of this group. And so I'll introduce Daniel real quick. Are you there, Daniel? Just want to pop in and say hi. It might just be me. Okay. Well, anyways, give us a call. We'll pass around our contact information. And we look forward to working with this group going forward.
Thank you so much.
I'll vouch for Daniel. How about that?
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Shelby. And we will be touching on some opportunities for them to help you later on in this meeting.
Sure.
Okay, next we're going to have one of our individual members. We're grateful to introduce you all to Nandi. Nandi, the Canna Cake Babe. Are you there? Nandi? Are you there? All right, we'll come back to you at the end. I hope you're there and I hope you're just having a mute problem, but that's okay. So let's move right along to one of our community members, cannabis queen and entrepreneur, Judici from Jade. Are you there?
Is there terrible feedback?
Yes. Zoom problems, right?
Hold on.
All right.
Is this better?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yay! Okay, and we're rolling.
Yep.
So, hello everyone. My name is Judici Gonzalez, and I am so honored to be here in the Zoom meeting today. I am the founder of Jade, Judici's Alternative Daily Enhancements, and we are empowering minds of humankind to decrease the use of opioids by reminding individuals of their own happiness through holistic wellness remedies for daily life skills, and CBG infused honey derived products. We're super excited just about our recent launch in October. So we are asking everyone to join the trail of holistic wellness and continue your support for our healing honey leaf, which is our #1 seller. It's a exotic enhanced smoker's wrap, excuse me, and it's an all natural Ecuadorian frontal leaf. Is that my 60 seconds?
That is your 60 seconds. Thank you so much. So
thank you.
Yes. So everyone, if you can support Jodeci, reach out to her. Jodeci, if you could drop where people can find your Ecuadorian Fanta leaves to replace, to roll those blunts, to roll up. If you could drop that in the chat so that all of our friends can support you, we would appreciate that. Okay. Next. Thanks, girl. Next, we're moving right along to one of our green business members. So Dan Hausman from Venture HR, are you there?
I am, yes, thank you.
All right, pop it off.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, everybody. So a little background on myself. I lived in Vegas for 10 years. I now live in Folsom for the past 4, so I'm in Northern California. A little bit about Venture. So we're the largest privately owned PEO in the country. And what we do is we partner with small businesses in areas of compliance, payroll, workers' comp, HR, retirement. And the reason why Venture and myself especially focus on the cannabis industry is because the heavy layer of compliance from federal laws. So what we do as a co-employer, we offset that risk and exposure as a small business and put that onto our plate. So we take care of all the payroll, the HR, the taxes, workers' comp, so we can do from seed to sale. So from the beginning to the end process, we have you covered for workers' comp, and then we can also do retirement. So we have a full service for small businesses, and we customize it. So it's whatever your needs are, we customize our solution.
Great. Oh, let's see. Let's pause this. Thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate that. So if you have HR needs, if your company needs help, regulating the people, we highly recommend you reach out to Dan. And if you could drop the link of how to find you or how to connect with you, we would appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes. Moving along, we've got Brian from Lemon Haze. Brian, are you there?
Yeah, sure am. Thanks, Danny.
Great. Excited to hear from you.
Hey, so my name is Brian Yager. I'm CEO of Lemon Haze. We are a B2B cannabis events company. We do things a little bit different. We pick a segment of the industry. Sometimes that's bud tenders, sometimes that's buyers, sometimes that's trimmers, sometimes that's executives. And we do particular events targeted to that particular market. And we have a lot of fun with it. We started up in Seattle back in 2015, expanded down through Oregon, California, got into Nevada, Oklahoma, and as you can imagine, being a cannabis events company in the zombie apocalypse is not that much fun, but we did take the time to actually move our company from Seattle to Vegas. And the Nevada market has been absolutely amazing to me. Thank you all so much. Keep an eye out. We do have a executive golf tournament coming up for all the cannabis executives in Nevada at Bears Best on April 28th. And we'll be doing them also in Arizona, Oklahoma, California, Michigan, Illinois. Be doing them all over the country. So I'll drop my information into the chat, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Brian. I personally have attended one of your events in Oakland about a year ago. I loved it. I had a great time, a great way to connect the industry. So looking forward to see how you navigate that in our post-pandemic world, but definitely we are looking forward to consuming with our friends legally in the future. Okay, I'm going to go back to Nandi. Nandi, are you there? Canna Cake Babe? I hope. Okay, well, we will definitely be showcasing her next time. She is an incredible vegan chef that is looking for some opportunities to enter the cannabis industry, and I'm really excited to foster that resource, and that's what we do at the Chamber. Okay, moving right along. So I hope that all of you were able to get the CCB's demographic study. So hopefully everyone that has an agent card had a chance to check it out and or participate. So I encourage all of you on this call to sign up for the CCB newsletter so you are having access and that you're using resources on their site so you know what's going on in the industry and what the rules are directly from the regulators. So if you check out this sign here, or this graphic here, the purple line represents the racial disparity that exists in our industry. And this is Nevada specifically, right? So as you can see, the owners, the operators, and the executives are white. And if you read the study further, the majority of them are male. So what we're trying to do to ensure that this does not happen in the next round of licensing, these are the numbers that we need to change so that we can continue to grow this industry and to be the gold standard. So I'm excited to tell you that in this meeting, we're going to introduce you to leaders in our industry that are breaking glass ceilings and should have a fair opportunity to be that next owner, operator, and board member. So without further ado, I'm really excited to share a video with you to introduce you.
What's good, world? Today, we here celebrating Black History Month. My name is Damien Smith, Director of Black Voices and Culture for the Chamber of Cannabis. As a brand consultant, creative director, owner of We Are the Culture's History and Cannabis Culture Entertainment, I am thankful and proud to be able to work in a state that's thriving in the cannabis industry. Today, we wanted to recognize Black excellence in interviewing some of the most influential leaders here in Las Vegas in the cannabis industry. Specifically here in Nevada, with over 330 licenses, only 5 of them being owned by a Black, minority, or a woman combined. That needs to change this legislative session. There is no national uniform legal code to ensure that there is social equity in the cannabis market. It's not just equity in terms of ownership, but equity in terms of the supply chain, looking at businesses like hemp, media, marketing, compliance, and social use lounges. That is why here in Las Vegas, the Chamber of Cannabis is the only organization working with legislators to ensure social equity when licenses are available. Let's face it, if you don't have a huge $100 million investment to do a cultivation or cannabis dispensary, it is important to find and create other ways to get into the cannabis space, especially for us, minorities and women. Because we know when licenses go out, we know who's getting displaced, us.
Greetings, CannaFam. My name is Nicole Bafong. I am Director of Medical Voices for the Chamber of Cannabis, as well as Western Regional Director for Minorities for Medical Marijuana, a nonprofit whose mission is focused on providing advocacy, outreach, research, and training as it relates to the business, social reform, and public policy in the cannabis industry. It was obvious to me when I moved to Nevada 2 years ago that medical patients did not receive enough benefits. Medical patients should not have to pay taxes on their medicine. Pharmaceutical drugs do not have the same taxes. Why should the plant? Medical voices in the cannabis industry are vitally important and remind us of why the plant should be available to all patients. I am asking all Nevada dispensaries and brands to discount your products to medical patients. Everyone is affected by the pandemic. Patients should not have to go without their medicine just because they cannot afford it. The two groups most impacted by federal rescheduling and consolidation of the industry will be women and minority-owned businesses. The average wealth of Black families is almost 7 times lesser than the average wealth of white families, making it harder for them to raise capital.
Blessings and love. It's Christina Thomas, Director of Veterans Voices for the Chamber of Cannabis. I am a wife, a mother, a patient, a veteran, a wellness instructor, and a small business owner. Many of you don't know that less than 7% of our population is comprised of veterans. Veterans make up a small amount of our population, and they carry some of the most complex physical and mental conditions. Because veterans are 2 times more likely to accidentally overdose, and with over 9 million veterans being served at the VA hospitals, it is necessary that we give our veterans an opportunity to choose their care. Thankfully, with the MORE Act being passed through Congress and now waiting for Senate, we can have some hope that that actually will happen.
Being a leader in one of the fastest growing markets here in Nevada, of one of the only Black-owned cultivations, means to me that I'm part of the 1% that Nevada neglected to ensure had an opportunity in this industry. As co-founder of CEIC, our cores are freedom, equity, and opportunities. Our core values are, we want to see our people free. So this bill represents, BDR 360 represents our first core of freedom.
To be a Black leader in a successful dispensary in Las Vegas is empowering, it's fulfilling, and it's exciting. It also gives me the opportunity to give other Black leaders the opportunity to become a part of the cannabis experience. My name is Portia Davis, and I am the admin retail here at Oasis Cannabis. I would like to see our political leaders change the laws from just being a state law to a federal law. This should be something that is allowed in every state at this point. We have it in some states, we should have it in all states. It should also be a step forward in allowing people who have been in prison or in jail, in federal jail. I'm doing the same thing that they're doing every day. I'm getting paid to do the same thing they're doing every day. And it would be like, I don't know, it'll just be the greatest thing that could happen to Black people, minorities, and the world itself. My current favorite cannabis product is going to be the spiked apple cider from City Trees. It is very flavorful. It also has wonderful terpene profile as well. And then I also am in favor of the GLP grapefruit breath. That one is just amazing. It's organic, it's fresh, it's always ready to go, it's sticky, it rolls well, and it smokes good.
My name is Xavier Stokes. I'm the general manager of Medicine, subsidiary of Planet 13 Holdings. I've actually gotten in the industry in 2017, been in it about 3-4 years now. Started from bud tender to trainer, and now general manager. What it means to me to be a leader in one of the most successful dispensaries and one of the largest markets in America is honestly as a source of opportunity and inspiration for people who want to get to my position. It is very gratifying, but it's also a lot of hard work, and it's something that I strive to get to on a daily basis. What advice I would give to people who are starting as a bud tender and trying to get to my position is dedicated work ethic. There's a lot of times where you might be looking for gratification or rewards, and you have to use that self-drive, right? That goal that you give yourself, that carrot, so to speak, to strive and get more. It's not always going to be in the form of tangible results, but it will pay off in the end. For me to represent for my culture and the people who are affected by the war on drugs and things that have happened in the past, it is honestly a reversal of stigma for me. I'm trying to set a tone as far as what is allowed and what's acceptable. Some of my favorite cannabis products, usually I'm a flower guy, so I gotta go with some of the medicine, like we just got our batch out of Harrington. It's very unique to the Runt strains. Sometimes you try a new strain in a new market and it doesn't remind you of what it originally was, right? Our master grower and vice president of operations here, Chris Friend, does a really good job of maintaining the actual culture and also maintaining the identity of strains. So that's where I got to start. And then secondly, I like concentrates and edibles. Some of my goals that I want to do next in the cannabis space directly reflect what the Chamber of Cannabis has going on right now, to push social use and also push the social equity, right, that you can generate from just allowing more people into the space. I want there to be somebody out there who looks like me, but maybe a little bit terrified or unsure of how they can get into the game, and know that it's possible.
Wow. All right. So, I hope that that clip was as impactful to you all as it was to me. Genuinely, it just reminded me of all the work we have to do. So I'm really looking forward to being a part of that work, and I'm excited to, change history and do the work. So
Now I wanted to, again, recognize a few members really quickly, and then we'll get on to even more fun. So big shout out to our month's new individual members. We've got Spencer from Wild, John from Taproots, Nandi from Canna Cake Bay. We'll hear from her next time. Chef Stacy Dugan, she's the owner of Simply Pure. We've got Todd from Spring Big. We've got Matt, personal friend. You might know him as Ron Bergendabs on Instagram from Spring Big. And then we've got Thomas Shaw also coming in from Spring Break. Thank you for your support from Florida. We've got Christopher Brown, Nathan Van Trees. He's the owner of the only medical only dispensary in Nevada. So we really appreciate that support, and we really hope to make some impactful work that helps patients in the same way that you do. We've got Brian from Lemon Haze, who we heard from earlier. And then we have Sean, owner of New Leaf. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Sean was the former president of Students for Sensible Drug Policy at Berkeley. What a guy. And next we have a badass female, Sam Rodriguez, director of sales from New Leaf, and then Brian Marsh, who is the head cannabis chef at Aether Gardens. Now, if you haven't had a chance to check out our website, I'm gonna go there really fast so you can check out some of our other members.
Sliding back in. Also, if your company is a member and you work for that company, you are also a member. We just need you to tell us who you are. So you can go on the website. You can simply fill out the form that says, not that one, but the next one. Oops, sorry. Fill out the form that says join here. That'll take you to a Google Sheet, and that way we'll be able to capture all your information. But again, if your company is a member, somebody working for your company is automatically a member as long as they fill out the form. All right, so moving right along, if you haven't had a chance to check out the website, we really encourage you to do so to learn more about us and all of our members. Here we want to highlight just a couple of our gold members. You have seen these folks in the past. They became members at the very beginning, and now we have some new gold members that have come on board. And they are New Leaf, thank you so much, New Leaf, Lemon Haze, as we said. Spring Big, the text messaging platform. Roar, we announced last meeting, and then we also have A&A coming in strong, and the Calico Group we actually announced at the last meeting as well. A refresher on who our green members are. Thank you guys so much. And Minorities for Medical Marijuana actually just gave us a wonderful donation, which moves them right up into the gold members. And if you gave us your logo or you haven't given us your logo and it's not on here, please make sure that you get that over to us so that we can put it on there. All right, now we have a really special announcement to make. It's exciting because we do all of this for free out of the kindness of our own heart, but obviously to make a difference. And I once read a quote that said, if you want to change the world, you got to know how to pay for it. And luckily we have some very generous owners and operators in Oasis that donated $10,000 to us. Mr. Andrew Glasshow, thank you so very much. Miss Lisa, who runs the show over there, Portia, Adam, Sam, Chris, thank you guys. You guys have been such a great partner with Old Pal and in the community, but also to now support the chamber and especially our legislative efforts, which is where this money will be going so we can get legislation passed. We thank you so very much. Another great partnership we are proud to announce is the partnership between the Tuttleman Foundation and M4MM. So for those of you who aren't familiar with David Tuttleman, he is the owner of Matrix and one of the most generous men in the industry. I first built a relationship with him at Normal where he donated $20,000 to us to then give out to employees in cannabis that lost their job when COVID first hit. And we were able to do so and help people. Mr. Tuttleman then contacted me again. I told him about the chamber. Matrix joined as a gold member. And he also told me that he wanted to support social equity from a federal basis. So I said, well, I have just the partner for you. M4MM is one of our partners. Nicole Buffong, who is the Western Regional Director, is also our Director of Medical Voices. And together they are going to help combat give social equity to more people so that we can have a fair licensing process all over. So Nicole, I'd just like to introduce you very quickly so everybody can see you. They saw you in the video, but if you are on.
Yes, hello, thank you so much. I just want to say, you know, it's an honor to get to work with the Tuttleman Foundation. It's that type of support that helps us to ensure that those resources that we need to fight for social equity in the state of Nevada stay in Nevada. But we are working nationally to help make sure that policy is written in different laws and legislations throughout the country. But if you're interested in learning more about what M4MM does regionally or in the state, then you can just visit our website at the number 4 mmunited.org. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Nicole. And M4MM was instrumental in helping us with the language that we put in the proposal for social use. So we appreciate their partnership and excited to grow our organization with them. All right. Before we get into our next video, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Scott Rutledge, who is our cannabis lobbyist. And we think one of the most important resources that we have on our team, because he knows how to do everything that we don't know how to do when it comes to getting a bill passed. So Scott, if you could please update us where we are on the proposal and how folks can be of service. Ooh, we can't hear you, Scott.
And I was having some mic issues, so. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for inviting me to come speak to the membership. I am excited to let you all know that we have had some great conversations with some of the other interested parties in the social use proposal that we're working with Chairman Steve Yeager, Chairman of the Assembly Judiciary Committee. Right now, what we have is a bill draft request, which means it's a placeholder. And the language that the first draft of the language, we'll see that once the Legislative Counsel Bureau has put something together based on the initial policy proposal that we submitted to Assemblyman Yeager. So we're probably still a couple weeks out from seeing that first round of language. And then, of course, we're going to work with the Assemblyman to make any corrections and changes so that when it's first introduced in his committee, hopefully we will have a piece of legislation that is pretty well baked, as they say. There's always going to be an amendment process with legislation, which is why we're talking with other cannabis lobbyists and stakeholders. We want to make sure we get input from different aspects of the industry as well. I will say that one thing that was really pleasing, I heard from the lobbyist of one of the dispensaries here in town that they thought that all of the permissive use licenses should be earmarked just for social equity applicants, and which was nice to hear from a dispensary or retail partner. I think that we definitely are going to have a chance to do some things with social equity with this legislation that we might be able to go a little further than we initially thought. But just so everybody on this call understands that the two types of licensing we're asking for. One is if you currently have a retail store or dispensary that you can allow for on-site consumption. And that means either in your facility or in an adjacent facility. It also means that you can do any type of concept you want. This is not about trying to limit the creativity or entrepreneurship that will come with these new license types. We just want to make sure there's a good framework there for various things, public health, safety, et cetera. And then on the permissive use license type, what we're looking at is a license type that anybody can apply for. You do not currently have to have a cannabis license with one of the other types of, whether it be a cultivation, production, or retail. You'll have to go through the process the same as the retail stores in terms of applying for this type of on-site consumption. But again, we want to leave it open to your ideas about what kind of business you want to run. We definitely have, some more time before we finalize any language. So if you would like to let me know about specific ideas you have, by all means, feel free to submit some things. I know that we've worked with a number of the members here today already on this, but if there's any things you have questions about, et cetera, you can submit them through Tina, and then Tina and I talk once a week. So she'll basically be the gatekeeper, as it were, and present to me some of the different ideas and also questions. Two things you should know: there are presently only 5 bill draft requests this session, or placeholders for cannabis legislation. 2 of the bill draft requests were held by a state senator, Cancela, but she has left the legislature to go work in the Biden administration. And so I don't believe her bill draft requests are being picked up. If that changes, certainly we'll let you know. The only cannabis legislation that has been introduced thus far is sponsored by or being, I guess, promoted by the Cannabis Compliance Board, and it had to do with making some changes to how testimony is given in the public meetings, as well as how labeling is done. For any of you who are not aware, there are 2 types of label for medical and recreational cannabis. The idea is to change it so that the label simply says this product contains cannabis. So for those of you in the packaging world and on the wholesale side, this will hopefully make things a little easier down the road. And then other than that, we do expect to see a couple other pieces of legislation that will address different aspects of the industry. I know that there is another piece of legislation that sort of touches on social use, and that's being worked on by a colleague and friend of mine, Aisha Goins. Some of you may have participated in a call that she did last week, definitely talking with her about what they're trying to accomplish. But it's very simply, in its core, it's a vendor license for events that you would purchase cannabis from a retail store and resell it at an event. That's a very simplified explanation. Obviously, when that language is out, you're going to want to review that. But the point being that these new license types are going to be heavily focused on creating more equity in the industry by essentially allowing for more people to participate, and to the best that we can. If we can, I don't like to use the word limit, but if we can ensure that a number of these licenses, if not a majority of these licenses, end up in the hands of social equity applicants, we'd like to try that. So we're going to be working through the process. It's not an easy process. We definitely have to work through some of the opposition that will show up. But for now, just so you know, the bill has not been introduced. We're still waiting on language from Legislative Council Bureau.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. We are now going to move right along into a really informative video that we made with our chamber members, and some facts that we think everybody on this call and everybody that has the privilege of working in the cannabis industry and making a living should know.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Watkins, and I'm the founder and CEO of Vanguard Media Online, a media platform and magazine for women in the cannabis space. I've been in cannabis for about 30 years, through advocacy, fellowship, business, community, and otherwise. And the one thing that I've noticed is unfair treatment, starting with the war on drugs. Now, we all know that this has disproportionately affected our Black and Brown communities. I have one ask. It's February 2021, Black History Month. And after the previous year that we've had with a lot of social unjust and racism blatantly, I ask that we come together in a unified sense around the cannabis plant. Let's be the example as leaders in this industry for unity, and that we can get it right, that we can provide equity and stability and love through our business models and through our interactions with each other. Join in wherever you can and help make a difference around cannabis. We all could really use the help. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jade Marianne, and I am the Aero Brands Nevada Market Manager. So I don't know if you all are aware, but last month the state of Illinois did something that was absolutely amazing for our industry. They ended up expunging 500,000 cannabis convictions, which is pretty awesome. Pretty much what they're doing is allowing for those people to be productive members of society, as they should. They're also allowing for them to participate in the cannabis industry. And I feel as though Nevada needs to follow suit and do the same thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, other states need to do this too. They all need to allow nonviolent cannabis offenders to be able to participate in the legal cannabis market and to be able to be productive members of society. Because if it wasn't for them, you and I would not be here, and other people wouldn't be able to get their legal medical cannabis that they need and be able to provide for them. So when it comes to the Chamber of Cannabis, I 100% back them because they go hard and they fight hard for everyone to be treated equally and fairly and get the opportunities as they should. And they go out there and they want for these nonviolent cannabis offenders to be in the industry that they actually paved the way for. So I 100% back and support them, and I believe that you all should too. Thank you.
After voters legalized cannabis in 2017, Nevada regulators failed to write social equity provisions to ensure fair and equitable licensing process. With limited licenses and a requirement of $250,000 in liquid assets to score higher for a permit, it is reported that Nevada only has one fully Black-owned dispensary and two fully Black-owned cultivation licenses out of 330 permits.
My name is Brian Mars Jr., and I'm the head cannabis chef at Aether Gardens in Las Vegas. Did you know that there's been a 24% reduction in opioid deaths in states that have legalized medical cannabis? That's 1 out of every 4 of the homies that we could have saved of an overdose. I think it's time to end the war on drugs and start letting cannabis save lives. And that's why I'm a proud member of the chamber. Go.
Did you know that in every single state, Black people were more likely to be arrested for marijuana possession? And in some states, Black people were up to 6, 8, and 10 times more likely to be arrested. These laws are ruining young Black men and women lives, and it needs to change today. And it's for that reason that I'm a chamber member and joining the fight to make that happen.
Hi, I am Chef Stacy with Simply Pure in downtown Las Vegas, and I would love to have the opportunity to obtain a social use license in Las Vegas. As we all know, we were greatly affected, as many restaurants were, by COVID-19. Obtaining a social use license would help to revitalize my business and obtain new customers and generate more income. I am a cannabis connoisseur, I'm an advocate, and this is one of the main reasons why I support the Chamber of Cannabis.
For decades, the criminal justice system in the United States extracted from Black and Browns money, human beings, and the community. The legal cannabis industry can help return what was taken if we stop acting like it didn't happen and restore justice. And this is one reason why I chose the chamber.
Hi, my name is Wagada. I am a marketing social media director, and I also specialize in sales. But Black History Month to me not only represents the triumphs, but trials and tribulations as well. And we are reminded of the unjust system waged against the people of color in an ongoing war day by day. Now, Richard Nixon called for a war on drugs in 1971 and spent over $1 trillion of taxpayer people's money. Now, the corrupt focus of this war was unsuccessful and destructive, to say the least. The fight for Black lives continues here and abroad. Currently in Tigray, the northernmost region of Ethiopia, there is an ongoing genocide committed against Tigrayans by the Ethiopian government and allied forces. I ask you all to condemn the Tigray genocide and give a voice to the voiceless. Stand tall. Stop the war in Tigray.
See, not touching anything, guys. Danny B is doing it all. She is doing it all. Thank you to Culture and Cannabis for putting that video together and for all of our members who participated. We appreciate it. Next, we want to turn it over to the man who is making it happen, Mr. Al Harrington. Just to let everybody know, Al actually is in Colorado in Aspen on a snowboarding trip where they drop you from a helicopter and then you snowboard the mountains. He's actually an avid snowboarder. So he wanted to make sure that we got the video, that we did the interview and he wasn't stuck snowboarding somewhere. So we actually pre-recorded this interview for you. And I do just want to let everyone know, we really tried to persuade him not to go to Aspen, but instead we invited him to go to Mount Charleston with the Chamber board members sledding. Unfortunately, he passed on that opportunity right now, but we'll still keep extending opportunities. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Al Harrington and Damien Smith and myself, wearing the same shirt, for this interview. All right, hi everyone. We are here with Mr. Al Harrington, CEO and founder of Viola. He is the most influential voice and advocate that we have in the cannabis industry and fighting for the exact same initiatives that we are: inclusion, opportunity for all, and equity. And he's actually doing it. He's not just saying it. So we are so glad to have you. Welcome to the show, Al.
Thanks for having me.
I also want to introduce you to Damien Smith. He is our Director of Black Voices and Culture at the Chamber. We want to make sure everybody has a seat at the table. So he is in charge of uplifting the Black voice and is here today with us.
What's up, Damien?
Hey, how's going on, man? Good to be on this Zoom call with you today, man.
Awesome.
Yep.
And I think you met previously, right? Damien, didn't you meet Al previously?
Yes, we actually met. Actually, the first time we met was 2017 at the MJ BizCon in Las Vegas. And
okay.
Then, last year we was at the dispensary. I brought DJ Booth and Fabulous came through at the
yes, sir. Vegas.
You came through, man. You dropped some knowledge, and you most definitely inspired me. And from that conversation, you helped me as far as stepping up my advocacy up in the cannabis industry and being a Black voice. For those that's not involved and those that don't have the same opportunity, you most definitely encouraged me to step up and be a voice. And ownership was a big thing that you was talking about. So I commend you on everything that you're doing right now,
No,
man.
that's awesome. And it's always good where, you talk to somebody and they take your words and turn it into action. So that's amazing.
Man, it was amazing, that conversation that you had. Yes.
So leading into that, we are so fascinated by everything that you are accomplishing with your brand, with the advocacy. But we want to start off this topic with you changing a whole system. And that's really the system of the NBA and what was on the banned substances. So talk to us a little bit about how it felt to have influence over former Commissioner David Stern and his views on cannabis and your role in changing that system.
I mean, it felt great, and obviously, I didn't do it obviously for self-satisfaction, gratification. I did it for the players, right? Because I remember, obviously at the end of my career, my last 2 years, I was using cannabis and, its byproducts like CBD, but just all the teammates that I had that had been suspended 5 games and been in a program and like the nonsense that they've had to deal with because of cannabis, you know what I'm saying? And now that it's medicine, it's medicinal. And most of these teams play in states where, if they have an ailment, they can go to a doctor, get a card, and they should be able to use cannabis. So it was just really about that, just, make sure that players' voices were heard and, trying to, change the system, to your point. I think that was the main thing. And it wasn't just me, it was Steven Jackson, it was Matt Barnes, Ricky Williams, Kyle Turley, Eugene Monroe, a bunch of athletes across different sports that really, played an integral part into making that happen.
Well, we commend you. Thank you for doing it.
Yep, the players really thank me.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what I want to ask is, talk to us more about your passion for cannabis and why, if you will. Where does it stem from?
Yeah, well, it started for me in 2011. With my grandmother. My grandmother was 79 years old. She came to see me play And, you know, when she got there, she was taking all this medication. And I asked her pretty much like, Grandma, why are you taking so much medication? And, you know, she gave me a list of things. And one of the things that she said was glaucoma. And literally, I was playing in Denver, Colorado. I'm in Colorado again. And she was just, you know, and I was reading the newspaper how cannabis, you know, cured glaucoma patients. So I started telling her about it, and she was taking interest in it. And she was just like, well, what is cannabis? And I told her it was marijuana, weed. And she was like, reefer? She was like, boy, I ain't smoking no reefer. And she shut me down. So the next day, she actually was in pain. And I just told her, I said, Grandma, look, you in a legal state. You can't get in no trouble. I was like, doctors recommend it. Just give it a try. And if it don't work, it'll be our secret. And she was open to it, had her try it. Hour and a half later, I went to go check on her. And she was downstairs crying, reading her Bible. And she said it was the first time she had been able to read the words of her Bible in over 3 years. So that's what started it all for me. That's where the passion started. You know, I wanted to learn more. I was eager to learn more. I learned how cannabis helped with kids with epilepsies and seizures. I help, you know, patients that, you know, were terminally ill with, you know, HIV and cancer. And our cannabis just made their last days a lot better. So once I learned that, man, I just realized that we had been lied to for a very long time. Initially, my interest was all around stigma, was trying to change the stigma, but, you know, eventually grew into, you know, representation and diversity. And that's what our company is now entrenched in. Like, obviously, you know, we came in on the medical side, so we're always going to pay homage to medical. Obviously, with us changing stigma, you know, our brand became a lifestyle brand. But, you know, now it's, like I said, entrenched in purpose, and we're just trying to figure out how we can use our company and our platforms and our networks to, you know, include and encourage, empower, uplift, educate more people of color to participate in the cannabis industry.
Damien?
Yes, my bad. I was dealing with that phone call, man. That was amazing, bro. For you to be able to do that and actually take the lead off, you know what I'm saying, suggesting that to your grandmother, to then taking it from that situation to how far you came till now. So I most definitely would like to salute you on that. And we commend your advocacy efforts and using your platform to drive that change that you want to see. You know what I mean? That's huge, because a lot of people talk about it, but you actually being about it. Now, last year, you publicly declared that you want to help 100 Black individuals become millionaires through the legal cannabis market. Can you walk us through how you would help fellow entrepreneurs like myself and others accomplish that, and how we as an industry can support this goal?
Well, you know, well, number one, the way you can support the cause is by continuing to support the brand, you know, buying the brand, because we put our money where our mouth is. You know, we don't right now, you know, advertise, you know, the percentage that we put back into, you know, our social equity programs, but it's significant. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the beginning, we would like to do a lot of this work quietly. Obviously, you know, we have to continue to talk about it in certain ways, but just in regards of what we set aside. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be all through incubation and accelerator programs. I'm a firm believer that, you know, cannabis is huge in every state, right? And in every state, there's brands that are on the ground there that have been pretty successful, right? But the thing that sucks about those brands is that, you know, these young entrepreneurs can't have bank accounts. They're looking over their shoulders, all these different things. What I would like to do is, as we win licenses, as we enter into these states, we would like to do partnerships with these companies and with these brands and take them from the gray market to the legal market. You know, we want to help them get bank accounts. We want to see them buy homes. We want to see them buy cars and live just a healthier, safer lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Especially one that can be afforded now that cannabis is now being decriminalized across the country. So that's one way. I also tap in with, you know, local friends of mine in different states where, you know, they have impacts on their communities because, you know, as we apply for these licenses, we need local representation. So I try to put these brothers and sisters on these licenses because, you know, when I think about the licensing process, and it's so funny to me that these bigger companies get perfect scores when they have community redevelopment, when I'm like, you know, they're not even from those communities. So how can they really know how to have an impact in those communities? Like, they can't even relate to people like at all at any level. So it's just things like that where I see, but, you know, for us, you know, we try to address that with the way we do business. So, you know, through that program, you know, right now, we've created already, you know, 9 millionaires on paper, you know, within our programs right now. We have some social equity people that we're helping right now. So hopefully we get those numbers in the double digits in the next couple months. But, you know, pretty much you know, when I said it in the beginning, you know, people just started reaching out to me on DM like, Al, I want to be a person. How can I be? Pick me. And, you know, it's
I was one of them people.
It's harder that way. It's more like, you know, find a niche in the business, you know, separate yourself, have passion about what you're doing. And, you know, when you get that opportunity, whether it's me or someone else, you know, you got to lay it all on the line. And, you know, for me, I invest in people before their business. So it's just seeing like that you're really committed, that you have something that's different and something that I can get behind it. I can add my little bit of gasoline or rocket fuel to, and we just help take you to the next level.
Man, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Yes, we're all about elevating each other. This organization is made up of leaders in the cannabis industry who are shaping the industry in Nevada and want to learn from people like you. So what reforms would you like to see passed to help these initiatives? Specifically that pertain to equity, justice, commerce opportunities.
Yeah, I just think that I think that what we need is just more access to resources financially. That's really the toughest thing about this business. You know, being that you can't go to banks, when you are a person of color, you don't have as many resources. When I think about, you know, even when I first started fundraising, this is generational wealth at risk for our communities. You know, we've been disenfranchised. You know, we've been the community that was mostly affected negatively by the war on drugs. So I just think that this is an opportunity that we can just get a small piece of the pie. And then after that, it's on us to do our job and go back and rebuild our communities with this success and with this revenue. So that's the challenge, is just really just trying to figure out how do we get better opportunities in the beginning, not 3 years down the line, when you allow these monopoly-sized companies to come in and really just run the market, and now you're giving me this little grow talking about go compete. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? So we want an equitable position in the beginning as these states legalize.
Absolutely. We agree. And we do not have a great licensing process here in Nevada when it comes to dispensaries on the first or the second round. So we feel like the next round of licensing should be social use venues where people consume, not be criminalized, and have an opportunity to revitalize their current business or open a whole new business, especially with so many brick and mortar businesses closing down. So we are hoping that will pass in 2021. We're leading that campaign. And we have a fun question for you. When we do get this passed, what kind of social use venue would Al Harrington want to open up right here in Las Vegas?
I want to do a consumption lounge for sure. I want to do a consumption lounge that included hookah. I think hookah's a big thing that people are, big fans of. And then obviously have some like small bite soul food dishes at the venue.
Oh man, that's amazing.
I know somebody gonna steal my idea, but that's what I would do. That's exactly what I would jump on if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, it's still an idea, but they can't steal the culture, bro. You the culture.
Right, they can't. Right.
They can't steal the culture history. It's documented. You saying it right now. They can't steal it, man. You're too connected. So that's powerful, man.
Thank you.
Well, we hope we can get this passed for you, and we hope we can make one more dream come true that you have, so that we just, grow organically together as people who are about it, who are in it for the right reasons, believe in the power of cannabis, and want to see it move forward in the right way. So anytime you're out here, and I hope you guys launch here soon, We definitely heard you're on the horizon. The chamber welcomes you, and we're ready to put one in the air when you are.
All right, can't wait.
All right,
thanks, Only.
Be careful.
All right, thank you
there.
guys. All right, we'll do.
Bye.
All right, great talking to you, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Brother, be safe.
Yep.
All right. How awesome. I want to give, I mean, Al is awesome. He is great, but I also want to recognize Damien Smith because he is also really freaking great. And I am proud of my friend. We knew each other on the scene just vaguely. And then he actually walked into the UNLV Black History Month that we put on last year with Las Vegas Normal. And he walked in, and that's when our relationship really began to build. And he told me, you know, I want to learn more about legislation. I want to become a stronger activist. What do I got to do? And boom, here we are today interviewing Al Harrington and you know, really spreading knowledge and dropping nuggets. So thank you, Damien. You're the best. Now, if you are inspired by Al and you want to start your own business, but not really sure where to start, that's where we have a little segment that we are going to offer on the 25th called Ask the Attorneys. And it is with Seamus and Daniel. It's just a quick half an hour. They're going to go over different businesses, S Corp, sole proprietorships, how to start them, what it takes, when you need to consult attorney, do you need to pay your taxes? The answer is yes to all of those things. So if you would like to join in on that, please contact us and then we'll get you registered. Now, if you don't want to open your own business just yet, but you would like to continue to grow in the industry, we also want to let you know there's a couple different opportunities out there. One is a compliance officer with Verano. You can contact Avi Burke or us. Avi is on the call. And then an accounting leader at Exhale, which would be Tyler Brennan, or again, you can contact us. And many places are always in need of bud tenders. If you're not in the industry yet and you are on this call, sometimes you have to take a step down to take a step up, especially in cannabis. But I can assure you, with the way that states are legalizing, how things are growing, maybe you have to go in that entry-level position for a couple months, be the leader that you want to be, and then you will grow within the industry. So like Danny said, nobody likes somebody with a big ego. So we encourage you to drop that at the dispensary before you walk in, apply for the job, get your foot in the door, and then grow. If you have opportunities, please let us know and we will continue to communicate those. Next up, going to hand it over to Danny for community activities.
All right, so it's very important to me that we are all conscientious cannabis consumers. And what that means to me is that we are taking part in our community. I genuinely believe in service above self, and I really believe our community could absolutely use all of our help. So our activity for the month, we are partnering with an amazing organization called New Era. We're going to be meeting from 2 to 4 at the Villa Capri. If you want to hit me up for the address, more details, my Instagram is the Gypsy Sorceress, or you can find me on the Chamber's Instagram as well. So we will be passing out food, clothes. There's going to be speakers, William McCurdy, other political figures. Our friend Mook that we did Beautify the Block with last month will also be there. But we really encourage all of you to, again, be conscientious cannabis consumers and participate and contribute in our community. Let's change that stigma.
Also, shout out to Damien too for helping make this connection happen and being involved with New Era Detroit and New Era Las Vegas. Look at Damien, you are everywhere, my friend. All right. Now, if you are not a member and you on this call, welcome, thank you. If you like what you saw today, you learned a lot. Maybe you didn't learn that much, but you still want to hang out with us, we would love for you to become a member. Pretty simply, these are all the member benefits, especially if you're looking to grow your acumen and connect with people. That's why you want to become a member. And your membership dues are very affordable. They're for the whole year. Next one. They are for the whole year, a 12-month period. So for members, individual members, community organizations, and extremely small businesses, $59. Our green membership is $500, and our gold is $750. And that just runs the organization. Obviously, you can see the chamber headquarters right here in my living room. We don't take much to run, but at the same time, we need all the support we can get. And then we also have our partners, our contributors who say, you know what, we see the legislative work that you're doing. We don't have the time or don't want to put the work into it. So we're gonna support you financially so that you can get those lobbyists and lawyers and extremely intelligent people that went to school for a really long time that we have to pay for if we wanna make things happen. So any dispensary, as Scott mentioned before, you have an opportunity to get this license and you don't have to do much for it. We'll do all the work for you. So we are really hoping that dispensaries and brand partners who are also going to increase their revenue, who want a social use venue, please talk to us about joining as a partner this year. And almost finally, and then we're to the prizes for those who stuck around. Our next meeting, we keep it real simple. We know you're stoners and you got a lot on your mind. So it's always the second Thursday of each month at 5 o'clock. Now, originally when we started these, they were mixers, and we were hoping, to have them at 5. People could leave work early, have a nice day. But now that we're doing Zoom, if you think that 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock might be better, we'd love to hear your feedback, or we can keep it at 5, but we definitely want to know. And all of our contact information right on the side there. All right, Danny, now we're to the prizes.
All right, everyone. So I'm going to briefly go over the prizes, and then I'm going to let Bree Padilla, our Director of Communications, who does so much incredible work for the Chamber, I'm going to pass the screen share over to her. Bree, are you ready for that? And let me just go over these prizes really quickly. So for our grand prize, we're going to have a $25 gift card to Simply Pure, super exclusive AMA hoodie and beanie. You're going to be able to buy or pick up 4 packs of Valhalla from Apothecarium. Again, 2 of our green business members. We appreciate you. And then you will also get half of a honey leaf from this Fanta leaf. The baby grand prize is going to be $25 for Can of Cake Babe, 4 packs of edibles. Again, thank you, Valhalla. And a rolling leaf for you to enjoy. And then we're having 4 prizes. So then 2 more really dope prizes. It's going to be, you're going to get that leaf and you're going to get those edibles. So Bree, can you come on the mic and let me know if you're ready for this?
And just a disclaimer, these are prizes for people that live here in Nevada, and we can deliver them to you. I'm sorry for all of our homies that live out of state and they support us. If you win, we'll try to scrounge up something. But right now, sorry, this is the best we can do. And these are prizes for our members too. So if you are a paid member and you filled out the application form, you followed both directions, you are on this wheel. If you just filled out the application form, but we haven't paid yet, you can still do that after the meeting, of course. All right, go ahead, Bree.
All right, guys, the wheel, click to spin. Woo! It's so much fun. All right, and our winner is Brian Marsh or March?
Brian Marsh from Mather Gardens.
Yay, thank you.
Let's go, Brian.
All right, you get the grand prize, Brian. Hit us up so we can meet up and hook you up with some goods from some of our members. All right, next we're gonna have Bree. We're doing this 4 more times. Are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm still here. Oh,
3 more times.
Amazing. Okay. One more time again.
All right, let's do it again. This is the second great prize on its way.
So much fun. Oh, it's so cool. Todd Denkin. Yay!
Todd Denkin of TNM News.
Congratulations, Todd.
All right.
We got two more really dope prizes. So let's go.
I love the little noise on this thing. It's amazing. Right? Oh, Jade won. She was also
Jade from AeroPro, thank you for contributing to our video. I thought what you said was really beautiful and smart, and I appreciate what you do for this industry. Okay, one more.
I'm like taking screenshots too, so the newsletter looks awesome. Very fun. John Gallimay.
Who's that? John Galloway. Oh, Galloway.
I apologize.
John Galloway, you may get this prize. Yay, congratulations. We really appreciate you. Bree, you can turn it back over or stop the screen share. Other than that, Tina.
Yeah, and we want to take a moment to recognize Bree. She is our director of communications. I can't even tell you how fast this woman works. She is the most fast, efficient, and on top of it. If you are I'm just plugging you. If you are looking for a director of marketing, contact Bree. She is absolutely phenomenal. I just blows my mind. All right, so we're gonna stick around for some tokes and jokes and some questions. So if you want to stay on, have any questions, want to, leave, we don't care, it doesn't matter. But thank you guys so much for coming. We appreciate you. We love you, Canna Fam. Go change the world.
All right, if you're on, you can unmic yourself, and let's hear what's up. How is it?
Look,
NT, looking great. Rebecca, thank you for joining in your car. I appreciate you. People I don't know. Thank you for
Hey
joining.
guys, thank you everyone. Hey Nicole, happy to see you.
Nandi, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
That was awesome. Great job on everything. All the content looked good. Loved all of it.
I love the highlights that you put together. Hey Bree, I sent you a ton of screenshots.
You're amazing.
I sent everybody a ton of videos, screenshots, everything.
So what's everyone smoking on? Anyone?
I'm smoking on air.
Air? Okay, awesome. Me too.
I ran out.
I hope everyone has an Old Pal vape.
Ooh,
Plug
I
the product.
Clementine.
Nice plug. I love it.
Happens peace from
You guys are
Exhale.
We are going to be rolling up one of these healing honey leaves. Full disclosure, Jodeci came over yesterday and we had a wonderful sesh with some GLP and the honey leaf.
That's the way to go.
I'll tell you.
We are excited.
What's up,
Anyone
y'all?
else? Who else is smoking? Rain, what are you smoking on? I see you. I don't know you, but I would like to.
That's Mac. Mac is from church. Okay, Mac is also from Detroit. Lives in Detroit.
Where you at?
You
Mac,
can,
I'm in
Mac,
Detroit.
you're
Where you at?
Here we go. And you're frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen
What up, though?
Hey. Oh, you're frozen and silent. Nandi, we see you. Nandi, we couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Well,
now we
can, but we couldn't hear you earlier.
Okay, I am so sorry. I was on my laptop and now I just switched to the phone. I was like, I can't figure it out. So I got on my phone and now, okay, it works. I should have just been on my phone.
Super excited to
Hey,
hear.
Nandi. Hey, girl.
We're gonna have you plug your business next week, but where can we find you if we want to right now? On Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Canna Cake Babe. I'm on everything. I'm on Pinterest, Facebook. Everything is at Canna Cake Babe or CannaCakeBabe.com.
So if you did not get a Valentine's Day present for your boo, you need to contact Nandi, Canna Cake Babe, and she will.
I got you.
And it's vegan, correct?
Yep, everything's
and some gluten free.
Yeah, everything's vegan.
I need your info. I have a boyfriend.
I'm looking for a Valentine and a cake.
What'd you say, Jen?
I said, I'm looking for a Valentine and a cake from Canna Cake Babe. I already follow you. I have for a while, and I'm constantly fangirling on your cakes. I love everything you post.
Thank you so much. I aim to please. So that it feels good. Thank you.
We're glad to have you a part of the chamber. We have some new faces too. We don't know Rob Tankson. We don't know you, Rob. Rob is the Presto Doctor. Yes.
Rob, what up, though?
What's up, y'all? I'm Rob with Presto Doctor. We were the first company to do telemedicine in the cannabis space. And I'm actually a resident of Nevada. And it's one of the states we operate in. So just went to,
Are you at the Panorama Towers or in a high rise?
I'm actually in New York right now.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
That's
New
a
York.
nice
You have
Vita, my friend.
Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Yeah, my Instagram is Rob.
IGs.
Yeah, here I'll throw it in the chat.
Perfect.
Throw them in the chat.
Nice.
All right, who else? Anyone else their first time on? Monique,
Vince.
welcome. We see you there. Vincent.
Mo, what up?
What up? I'm actually in Reno right now.
What up, Mo?
But I am gonna be back in Vegas tomorrow. So smoking on some dope, obviously, per usual. But I'm also smoking on a CZ at the same time. It's very much.
Plug for Aether Gardens.
It's just a lot, but it's great. I mean, like, I'm in Reno, so like, what else do you do?
Yeah. We got Mike from Cosset CBD, our gold member. Hi, Mike.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Good, good. Great meeting.
What up?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vincent Norman. We don't know. Vincent, you're new.
How you doing? My name is Vincent Norman. I am the founder of the Marijuana Hall of Fame. We plan on having a brick and mortar in Las Vegas in 2023. I had the pleasure of meeting Damien when I had moved out to Vegas to learn a little bit more about the recreational side of cannabis. I am currently in Chicago. I am really upset because it is like cold here, super cold. I got so used to Vegas weather. I am not a Chicagoan. It's cold, but yeah.
You gotta let us know about the things that's going on in the Chicago market as well. I know you're doing a lot in the Chicago market. Let us know a little about what's going on down there.
Yeah, right now, you know, they have not issued our license. You know, the social equity program just did not work for 2020. But right now, they are kind of like in the second round of issuing out 75 licenses to minority-owned applicants. So that's supposed to be taking place here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Really, the next 2 weeks, they should be kind of rectifying that. And so we should see a lot of people of color and women and Latinos with license in Illinois. Last year, you know, everybody knows that we made $1 billion in sales of cannabis, and none of it went to women or people of color or Latinos. And that is unacceptable, especially the third largest state in the US. So we got some work to do here. And part of my goal as the Marijuana Hall of Fame is to make sure that one of the things that we do is talk about more inclusion and diversity in the cannabis space as well.
Well, you're in the right spot, my friend. Thanks for joining. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hey, we got Nathan Van Treese up there. Give us a wave, Nathan.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great dog. So Nathan,
it's awesome. It's awesome to actually be part of this group. I think it was a great idea by Tina to put this together to kind of give us a voice, for our industry. It's kind of felt like it's been like one-sided, having the taxation department and then now the CCB. Now we can kind of push back a little bit on some things that might need to change. So just excited to be here. I own the part of the Green Cross Pharmacy. We're out in Fallon, Nevada. We're the only medical dispensary in the whole state of Nevada right now. I'm actually this year. I'm sorry.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So the reason why we got approved by the state, we just couldn't get local jurisdiction approval in 2018. So I'm going on operating this business for 4 years. This year, though, I'm planning to meet with the city commissioners, and I think that things are going to start coming my way this year. So I'm excited. It's hard to change. I'm in rural Nevada, so it's completely different than Vegas and Reno. And so I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, where there's no medical program at all. And it's great to be out in Nevada where it's a legal state. And I moved to Vegas in 2012. I lived there for a few years, but I really love Northern Nevada, and I'm excited to be.
We got to make your town more progressive. It's an extremely small town. It's a military town. The people that own the town are in alcohol, or excuse me, pesticides and farming. So these people are not pro-cannabis. It's not really the best thing that he only has a medical dispensary, because he can only see medical patients. So 21 and up cannot walk in. So the amount of business that Green Cross does is, you know, very small, because there's only so many medical patients. Then he's competing with larger stores in the Reno market. So Nate and I are going to talk to see how we can help him, but fantastic guy. He's also a professional volleyball player. If you're ever down in the Lake Tahoe area on the beach and you see Nate, just give him a wave down there. Who else we got? We got Kelby on the call. Kelby Thompson.
Hey, Tina. Hey, everybody.
One of our very first members.
Yeah.
That looks like that silhouette video all the kids are doing today.
Oh yeah, I was kind of playing with the colors to see like what would look better, but I was like, oh, I'll go with this one.
Well, you looked so incredible in the facts video with the flames behind you.
Oh,
I thought it was very flame of you.
I gotta give props up to my friend Anna. I was like, look, my advocacy group is really putting pressure on me to get involved and really come out here and say something. Normally, I'm like very much a behind the scenes kind of person. And so, yeah, she helped me to make the video happen. Shout out to Anna. I should have had her on the call.
I love it. I was going to say, shout out to your friend Anna, and then also shout out to my friend Anna, who's on this call, who's represents an international cannabis ancillary business and is a badass and is the reason that I'm in cannabis today. So we love Anna's. That's the rule.
Yeah, they make the world go round, man. That was a super relevant meeting today, by the way. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We think it's important to remind people of what we're doing, why we're doing it,
Yeah,
and what we need to do, right?
You guys crushed it. The dynamic duo over there. Round of applause.
I said, Danny, after we're done with this meeting, we are smoking so much weed and I want to get a pizza.
Dylan, get those wings. Get those wings.
Wings.
Ooh. Wings.
Well,
Yeah.
I adore everybody. Have fun.
All right, guys.
Speaking
Good
of
night.
smoking a bunch of weed, let's do that. We
Right
love
on.
you all. Thank you so much. If you're not a chamber member, let's get that party started, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.
Blessings, everyone. Take care.
Bye.